Warning, the following video that you're about to watch is owned by 1mikie19. If this video is uploaded on another YouTube channel, any video, whether it be a small clip or any of my reviews, it will be flagged down by me if I see it without my permission. Thank you. You may now enjoy the show. Hey guys, 1mikie19 here, and it's Q&A time. In case you didn't know, this past Thursday was my 10th anniversary since I started this YouTube channel, and I decided to do a Q&A in honor of that. Many people have asked me so many questions, and I'm here to answer them here in this video. In that case, let's get started. David Anderson asks, what's your favorite memory of being on YouTube? Watching videos and making videos for you all. Sean S. asks, what are your thoughts on the new show 1mikie? I have not seen it yet, but I've heard really good things about it. I might check it out, but I'm not 100% sure when. I have many cartoons to catch up on, and that's one of them, so be patient. Yellow Potatoes asks, who's your favorite actor/actress? I pretty much like all the actors/actresses coming from classic 80s movies. Anthony Michael Hall, Molly Ringwald, Charlie Sheen, John Cryer, Matthew Broderick, any actor/actress that has appeared in a John Hughes movie, from 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Pretty in Pink, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, just so many classic movies from John Hughes. I just miss the man so much, and I was very saddened when he passed away. My favorite movie of his is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. John Hughes' most successful film is also his funniest. Everyone wanted to be Ferris Bueller, but in the end, we all know we're Cameron. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. John Hughes is one of the main reasons why I want to be in the television/movie industry. He was a great movie director and my all-time favorite. Ariel Lagual, sorry if I can't pronounce your name right, but she asked, where do you live? I live in Texas. As for the city, that's top secret, as I can't reveal exactly where I live. Sorry. XX Viniterio XXLPS asks a few questions. The first one he asks is, have you seen Littlest Pet Shop? I have seen Littlest Pet Shop, and it was a great show. Although I was very sad when it got canceled after 4 seasons. I feel like it should have done more seasons like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Question 2. Have you seen Discovery Family? I do watch Discovery Family, but only for the cartoons. In case you don't know, I used to watch Discovery Family back when it was called The Hub, and they had a lot of entertaining programming. The cartoons such as My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Pound Puppies, and Littlest Pet Shop. The dark shows such as Goosebumps and The Haunting Hour. Heck, they even did game shows based on real-life board games, and those were entertaining. They even aired syndicated TV sitcoms such as Blossom, Step by Step, Happy Days, Doogie Howser, and The Wonder Years. Question 3. Do you like kids shows still? Yes. The Nick Jr. shows I do like are Paw Patrol, Rusty Rivets, Bubble Guppies, Blaze and the Monster Machines, Nella the Princess Knight, Shimmer and Shine, Sunny Day, and Top Wing. And the shows I'm looking forward to are Butterbean's Cafe, which comes from Johnny Bell and Robert Skull, the creators of Bubble Guppies, and Abby Hatcher Fuzzly Catcher, which is another Spin Master show following Paw Patrol, Little Charmers, and Rusty Rivets. So this is their 4th Spin Master show from Nickelodeon. For Disney Junior, I do love Doc McStuffins, which was almost cancelled after season 4, guys. But thanks to W. Kamau Bell, many fans protested Disney Jr. for Doc to be renewed for a 5th season. And it worked, guys. Doc McStuffins is coming back for a 5th season. And that is pretty dang amazing. I also love Sophia the First, Miles from Tomorrowland or Mission Force 1, Goldie and Bear, since I love Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Elena of Avalor. Fun fact, my grandma is actually really good friends with the woman who does the voice of Luisa on Elena of Avalor. So maybe I'll get a chance to meet her, maybe interview her. I don't know, guys. We'll see. Mickey and the Roadster Racers, Puppy Dog Pals, Vampirina. Since Doc McStuffins is coming back for a 5th season, I would love to see Chris Need do a Doc McStuffins crossover with Vampirina, since Chris is basically doing both shows. She already did a crossover with Winnie the Pooh, and it was a really great crossover episode, even though it was only 30 minutes. But wouldn't it be interesting if it was an hour-long crossover episode? I would love to see that between Doc and Vampirina. And finally, my favorite show from Disney Jr., The Lion Guard. Why do I love The Lion Guard? Because The Lion King is my all-time favorite Disney movie. Season 2 has been pretty interesting so far. I don't want to give anything away, you just gotta see it. Plus, I forgot to mention that Disney Jr. is rebooting Muppet Babies for a new generation of kids, and I'm really looking forward to it. Codename Kids Next Door creator Tom Warburton developed this new version and serves as executive producer and showrunner. What I've seen about this new version, it kind of reminds me of the Backyardigans, as they plan to go on adventures and use their imaginations. The classics I watched as a kid include Bear in the Big Blue House, Roly Poly Oly, PB&J Otter, Out of the Box, Stanley, The Book of Pooh, just lots and lots of classic shows from Disney. And finally, PBS Kids. I grew up with PBS Kids. It was the channel I was mostly into growing up. I watched a lot of classic PBS Kids shows such as Arthur, Barney, Between the Lions. I actually like to make jokes about cliffhangers, stating every story of Cliffhanger ends in a cliffhanger, because that's why he's called Cliffhanger. Anyways, moving on. Clifford the Big Red Dog, Cyber Chase, Dragon Tales, Lamb Chops, The Magic School Bus, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Wishbone, JJ the Jet Plane, Sagwa the Chinese Siamese Cat, Zaboomafoo, Zoom. The mid-2000s we had Jakers, The Adventures of Piggly Wings, The Berenstain Bears, Timothy Goes to School, George Shrinks, Seven Little Monsters, Marvin the Tap Dancing Horse, It's a Big Big World, Fetch with Ruff Ruffman, Curious George. The late 2000s we had Super Y, Word Girl, Martha Speaks, Sid the Science Kid, and Dinosaur Train. Some shows were good, like Fetch with Ruff Ruffman, Martha Speaks, and Dinosaur Train. Some were bad, like Caillou, Word World, and Booba. And some were just okay, like Sid the Science Kid and The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that. There was also some obscure PBS Kids shows like Betsy's Kindergarten Adventures, Franny's Feet, Animalia, and Mama Mirabelle's Home Movies. Then we had the newer shows, like Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which comes from Angela Santamero, creator of Blue's Clues, Peg Plus Cat, from the same crew that worked on The Wonder Pets, Odd Squad, which was created by Tim McKeon and Adam Peltzman, creator of Wally Kazam, Nature Cat, from David and Adam Rodman. Of course, David does the voice of Baby Bear and Cookie Monster on Sesame Street. Plus, he also worked on Jack's Big Music Show and Bunnytown. Ready Jet Go, from Craig Bartlett, creator of Hey Arnold, Splash and Bubbles from John Tartaglia, and most recently, Pinkalicious and Peterific. Now, a new show will be joining PBS Kids this fall, entitled Luna Around the World, and it was created by Rocko's Modern Life and Camp Lazlo creator Joe Murray. According to Murray, most of the crew behind the Rocko special will be working on Luna Around the World, along with Peter Hannon, creator of Cat Dog. I'm really looking forward to it, and that's all I have to say. Samuel Warwick asks 4 questions. The first one he asks is, what's your opinion on the Ruff Ruffman show? I love the Ruff Ruffman show. Is it better than Fetch? No, it isn't, but it's actually really entertaining. The science is there like in Fetch. It's just a really great web show. There's some videos on how Ruff has to take care of his cousin Bluff's pet rhinoceros Fluff, but in order for him to calm down, he'll have to put a leash on him, and he'll have to find the right material that is strong enough to hold a 5,000-pound rhino. Some of the material Ruff uses to make a leash include toilet paper, sausage links, crepe paper, licorice, and plastic bags. The plastic bags prove to be the strongest material to use for Fluff if you braid them, because braiding the plastic bags makes them stronger. Another set of videos features Ruff and his twin brother Scruff having a cookout, and they make food that includes popsicles, finger sandwiches, an egg meal in the shape of a duck, and some sherbet ice cream. Another set of videos features Ruff trying to get his Ruff Ruffman plushie bag so he can give it to Grandma Ruffman for her birthday. Topics for those videos, for those set of videos include gravity, when Ruff had to build a ramp for the plushie to get to Grandma Ruffman; motion, when he had to push Herring across the ice for the plushie to reach the end; friction, when Ruff had to find the right surface for the llama to move faster, which the pavement proved to be the fastest and the smoothest; when the surface of objects push and pull to each other, it slows their motion; and force, when Ruff had to choose the right ball that creates the most force to knock down all the bottles to get the plushie back, and he finally got the plushie back and made it in time for Grandma Ruffman's birthday party. And he learned that every failure and every mess only means he's closer to success. So overall, the Ruff Ruffman show is a pretty great web show. It may not be Fetch, but it's a show that I really recommend. Question 2. Do you think having former Fetchers back in the series would be better? If you do, which ones do you think should come back? Fetch with Ruff Ruffman is not expected to come back anytime soon, but if they would have done at least 7 seasons, well, this was rumored a long time ago that if Fetch would have done a 7th season, that it would bring back all 6 grand champions from all 6 seasons to compete for something huge. But sadly, it was only a rumor. Fetch ran for 5 seasons and we never got our 6th season as they planned to give us, so yeah. Question 3. I know you're not big on Thomas, but which composers of Thomas and Friends are your favorite? I don't know who the composers of Thomas are, which is why I never watched the show. I never really cared for the story, and some of the characters are pretty bland. Sorry. But I do know that Thomas is moving from PBS to Nickelodeon. Well, that happened yesterday, but according to a friend of mine, this has to do with Mattel. He told me that it was Mattel's decision to have Thomas leave PBS, which makes sense. Mattel is currently expanding, refreshing the brand. They probably felt it was better if he was on a commercial platform. But I think it's a pretty interesting move. I hope the Barney reboot finds a new home as well. The reboot was announced back in October 2015, and we still haven't heard anything since it was announced. Even for Angelina Ballerina, that's another show that I loved. K Woodification asks 10 questions, but I'm only answering 8 of them, if that's alright. Question 1. Do you like Yo Gabba Gabba and Ni Hao Kai Lan? I have seen Yo Gabba Gabba, and it's a pretty interesting program. The creators Kristen Jacobs from the Aquabats and Scott Schultz basically got the inspiration from Yo Gabba Gabba from basically shows from Sid and Marty Krofft, such as HR Puffin Stuff, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, and many others. Their goal was to design a kids show that was entertaining while featuring real artists and real performers. Both had no previous experience writing for television, let alone children's broadcasting or education. There is a single topic in each episode, such as adventure, friends, and dance through songs and short storylines in the half-hour programming. Additionally, the show teaches children life and social skills such as sharing and trying new foods. It also encourages viewers to move along with and dance with the characters in the program. The show also had some great guest stars. Some of my favorites include The Roots, Jack Black, Tony Hawk, and Weird Al Yankovic. Yo Gabba Gabba ran for 4 seasons from August 20th, 2007 through November 12, 2015. Well, the remaining episodes aired in 2015, and they most probably wrapped production in 2011 or 2012. So overall, Yo Gabba Gabba was a pretty interesting show. As for Ni Hao Kai Lan, I just couldn't get into it. It was an okay show, underrated, but it wasn't for me since it was a bit similar to Dora the Explorer. I'm glad this show existed for kids that taught them all about Chinese culture. Of course, another show that did that was Sagwa the Chinese Siamese Cat, but that show was way better in my opinion. Overall, Ni Hao Kai Lan. Great show, but not for me. Question 2. Do you have a favorite color? Green. Question 3. Are you excited for Butterbean's Cafe? Hell yes! Of course, it's created by the same duo behind the Backyardigans and Bubble Guppies, but yeah, I'm excited. My main problem I do have is the wait for the animation. It's been almost 2 years since the show was announced, and we still don't have the animation for the show. I mean, come on guys, what's it going to look like? Do the characters have Bubble Guppy style designs? What's it going to look like? Come on guys, it's been almost 2 years. Plus, if this show has songs, I'll be sure to start uploading them like I did with the Bubble Guppy songs. So yeah, I'm excited. It will most probably air either this summer or this fall, so yeah. Question 4. Have you seen Total Drama? I have seen Total Drama and I hate it. I'm sorry. Question 5. What is your favorite Nelvana show? I've seen several Nelvana shows coming from Nickelodeon. I've seen Little Bear, Franklin, The Backyardigans, Miss Spider, and Bubble Guppies. From PBS, we have the original Magic School Bus. I don't know, I think all of those are my favorite. Question 6. What is your favorite Cinar/Cookie Jar show? I've only seen 4 shows from them. Arthur, The Busy World of Richard Scarry, which I haven't seen in a very long time. Zaboomafoo, and Whimsy's House. But if I were to vote for my favorite, it would have to be Arthur. Question 7. What's your favorite character of Tara Strong? I've only heard Tara in a few shows that I like. She played Bubbles on the original Powerpuff Girls, Dill Pickles on Rugrats, Timmy Turner and Poof on The Fairly Odd Parents, Raven on Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, and Twilight Sparkle on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. My favorite role would have to be Twilight Sparkle. I just love Friendship is Magic. Lots of interesting lessons and stories. It's just an interesting coming-of-age cartoon. She's not my favorite on the show though. My favorite is actually Pinkie Pie. Question 8. What's your favorite Bubble Guppies character out of the main 6? That is freaking easy. All the Guppies are great, but my favorite character has to be Dima. She is hilarious, and both Angelina Waller and Grace Kaufman have done a great job voicing the character. And it cracks me up every time she does or says something funny. I just love Dima's personality and style. She's the Guppy that can cheer me up whenever I feel sad. She is just so hilarious. These are going to be the last questions I'm going to answer. My good friend Disney Fanatic asked quite a lot of questions, but I'm going to answer as many as I can, just the ones I do know. The first one he asked is, What do you think of Nickelodeon's current schedule changes in the past few weeks with Nicktoons and Nickelodeon? I really think Nickelodeon is improving with their schedule. I see a lot of variety in their schedule, and I'm not seeing repetitive SpongeBob. We still have some live action shows like Henry Danger and Game Shakers, The Thundermans, School of Rock, and Night Squad. In the 8 p.m. hour for Nick at Night, we have movie night, so they'll basically air movies from now on every night. Of course, we still have Full House, Friends, George Lopez, The Goldbergs, and now Two and a Half Men. Now, I have problems with Two and a Half Men on the schedule. Now, I love Two and a Half Men, I have nothing against it, but why on a family channel? Nick at Night is basically a family-based channel, and Two and a Half Men is not a family show. It's more of a show for teens and adults. Of course, all 12 seasons of the show are on Nick at Night, including that horrible series finale that should not be mentioned. In my opinion, I consider that series finale more like Satan's Revenge. A series finale has to have a heartwarming ending. Did I see a heartwarming ending? To answer that question, no I didn't, so I did not enjoy it. Question 2. What do you think of CBS and Viacom possibly merging after they originally split, and Nickelodeon's president possibly leaving after her contract expires, and how do you think this will affect Nickelodeon? I have no idea how Seema Zergami's exit will affect Nickelodeon. I just want to see Nickelodeon get better after Seema leaves. Like I said in my previous videos, I would love to see Chris Viscardi become the next president. He's been doing an excellent job reviving classic Nicktoons as TV movies, and after seeing the results for the Jungle movie, they did it right, unlike other reboots. Cartoon Network, take notes! As for CBS's Viacom merging, I have no idea how it's going to work, but we'll see what happens. Question 3. Do you think Nickelodeon is changing directions with their live action shows and now going for animated shows, with so many being picked up and more in development than their live action section? Most probably because a lot of their live action shows on Nickelodeon are in danger. Henry Danger wrapped production on season 4 recently back in December, and season 3 production of Game Shakers is winding down, and we still don't know if they'll be back, but in my opinion, I'm going to say that it's not looking good for these shows. The Thundermans, Nicky, Ricky, Diggy, and Dawn, and School of Rock have all been confirmed to be ending their runs. Of course, for Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, Mace Cornell basically announced that he was leaving the show, and the show's future was in limbo and in jeopardy. But to no surprise, Nickelodeon decided to cancel the show after 4 seasons. The Thundermans was ordered an additional 6 more episodes for season 4, bringing the season's total to 32 episodes back in May. And we knew that the show was going to end after season 4. I went to a Comic-Con back in September, and I met Dana Schneider, who plays Dr. Colosso, and he said that the show was going to end this summer, and the finale was basically shot in October of 2016, and it's called The Thunder Games. And he told me that a lot of people are going to be satisfied with this finale, so I'm really looking forward to it. As for the animated pilots, I would love to see the girl from Dinosaur Island and Planet Panic get picked up. I've been hearing a lot of good things from many people about these 2 pilots, so we'll see what happens. Question 4. What do you think is going to get picked up or announced at the 2018 Upfront? The Upfronts were already announced last week, and they were pretty bad. But let's go over what was announced. I'll start with the preschool shows, and I'll save the best news for last. The first show that was announced is Abby Hatcher Fuzzly Catcher, and it was picked up for 26 episodes. This animated preschool series centers on Abby and her new friends, the Fuzzlies, who are amazing and quirky creatures that live in her family's hotel. Together with her best Fuzzly friend, Bosley, Abby goes on wild adventures to fix Fuzzly mishaps and help them in any way she can. Produced by Spin Master Entertainment, the same company behind Paw Patrol, Little Charmers, and Rusty Ribbits. Abby Hatcher Fuzzly Catcher features a social-emotional curriculum highlighting empathy, compassion, and problem-solving skills. Again, I can't make an opinion until I see the animation for it. Next up, we have Butterbean's Cafe, which we already know about, and that was picked up for 40 episodes, and centers on a fairy named Butterbean and her adventures running the neighborhood cafe with her friends. Butterbean's Cafe features creative cooking and a social-emotional curriculum that highlights entrepreneurial and leadership skills. Created by Johnny Bell and Robert Skull, the same people that brought us Bubble Guppies, the series will premiere later this year. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm very excited for this show. But please give us the animation already. Please. Next up, we have Fashion Alley, and it's a working title, and it was picked up for 40 episodes. And it follows a little girl named Allie in the high fashion world as she makes everything around her a bit brighter, bolder, and more brilliant, one design fix at a time. Fashion Alley is created by Paula Rosenthal and produced by Silvergate Media, the same company behind Peter Rabbit and Sunny Day. This sounds a bit like Sunny Day, only with fashion, but I guess we'll see what happens. Next up, we have the swashbuckling adventures of Capitan Calavera, and it's also a working title, and it was picked up for 20 episodes. This animated action adventure series follows 8-year-old Roby Montes, a brave and kind-hearted pirate, as he embarks on daring rescues, searches for treasures, and keeps the high seas safe from villains like the nefarious pirate Bonnie Bones in a fantastical Caribbean world. The interactive series is created by Nikki Lopez, Leslie Valdez, and Valerie Walsh Valdez. Of course, the same people that brought us the horrible Dora the Explorer. And it's fused with a Spanish language and culture curriculum. This doesn't surprise me, as this is another Dora the Explorer mixed with Jake and the Neverland Pirates. The premise sounds interesting, but I don't want another Jake and the Neverland Pirates. The villain sounds like a comparison of Captain Hook and Swiper the Fox, but we'll see what happens. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Blue's Clues is getting revived for a new generation of preschoolers. Oh, I am really excited for this. Nickelodeon has ordered 20 episodes and casting is officially underway for a new host that is set to begin production this summer. I don't know what to say, but I am a huge Blue's Clues fanatic. I used to watch Blue's Clues growing up, and I'm curious how this reboot is going to turn out. Since both Angela Santamero and Tracy Page Johnson will both be back to run the show, and with Tracy back, she'll most probably reprise her role as Blue, as well as many of the other voice actors, like Nick Balaban as Mr. Salt, Spencer Caton as Mrs. Pepper, Michael Rubin as Mailbox, plus they may have to cast some new voice actors for Side Table Drawer, Tickety Talk, Shovel and Pail, Slippery Soap, and Paprika and Cinnamon, because their previous voice actors are most probably adults. Plus, I hope the new host becomes exactly like Steve, and maybe he or she probably has a relation to both Steve and Joe. Maybe he or she is Steve's son or daughter, but we'll see what happens. Now let's move on to the animated shows. First off, we have Los Casagrandes, and it's a working title. A companion to the animated hit The Loud House, this series in development follows Lincoln Loud's friend Ronnie Ann, voiced by Brianna E.D., and his brother Bobby Santiago, as they adjust to their new life in the city, where they now live with their big, loving, and chaotic multi-generational family, the Casagrandes. Fun fact, the grandmother is actually voiced by Sonia Mazzano, who played Maria on Sesame Street for so many years. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. In addition, The Loud House was renewed for a fourth season of 26 episodes. Next up, we have Pony, an original 2D animated buddy comedy that follows the life of an average girl, Annie, her almost average family, and what happens when an excitable, unpredictable, lovable, and talking pony comes to live with them in their city apartment. Pony is the first animated series to be greenlit for the US from Nickelodeon International. I've seen a picture of Pony and it looks alright. I guess we'll see. And last, we have Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was picked up for 26 episodes. This new reimagined 2D animated series follows the band of brothers as they discover new powers and encounter a mythical world they never knew existed beneath the streets of New York City. Along for the adventures is the Turtles' most trusted ally, April O'Neil, a street-savvy native New Yorker and Splinter father figure and sensei to the Turtles. The series debuts later this year. Now, I don't really care for the Turtles. I wasn't a big fan, but this is a show that's basically for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. Now let's move on to live action. The first show is Keep It Spotless, and it was picked up for 20 episodes. This new competition series, executive produced by WWE superstar John Cena, no surprise, features real kids competing in a variety of physical and pain-filled challenges with one goal in mind: to stay as clean as possible. First of all, John Cena? This sounds like a ripoff of Double Dare. What happened to the awesome game shows that Nick had? Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts, Finders Keepers, Double Dare. They revived Guts for a little while with film critic Ben Lyons as the host, and I thought he was alright. He's no Michael O'Malley, but he was alright. They also brought back Figure It Out with Jeff Subton hosting. If this was revived again, it will have some current Nick stars for the panel, like Jace Norman, Cooper Barnes, Creed Chicano, whatever Nick stars that they have now. Next up is Night Squad, and it was picked up for 20 episodes. This brand new comedy, which premiered earlier this month, is set at a magical school for knights in training, where two mismatched students, played by Daniela Perkins and Owen Joyner, form an unlikely alliance to protect each other's secret and pursue their dreams. It was created by Sean Cunningham and Mark Dworkin, who basically worked on the Thundermans, and most of the writing staff come from the Thundermans, including John Beck and Ron Hart, the creators of Liv and Maddie. Now, the show is okay. I've seen a few episodes of it, and it has the same feel as the Thundermans, but I wish they'd stop with the cheap humor and the cheap writing and the cheap gimmicks. We had two shows with superheroes. We had a show about ghosts. We had a show about a girl playing football. Now we have a show about knights. And that's all I have to say. And to no surprise, Lim Sing Battle Shorties has been renewed for a second season. Yeah, I really don't care. And finally, we have Musical Dares, and it was picked up for 10 episodes. This brand new short form series is a new twist on the classic concept of musical chairs. Created and executive produced by Nick Cannon, the live action game show will combine real kids, physical competition, and a full-blown dance party. Musical Dares is the first project by Viacom Digital Studios for Nickelodeon's YouTube channel. This actually sounds pretty interesting, as Musical Chairs is my all-time favorite game to play. I guess I'll check it out whenever it premieres. Well, I guess that's it. But wait, 2 days later, we actually got a series order for a live-action comedy. Cousins for Life. Picked up for 20 episodes, the buddy comedy centers on 12-year-old cousins Stuart and Ivy, played by Dallas Young and Scarlett Spencer respectively, who are best friends who come from very different backgrounds and learn to navigate life under one roof with their families. After Stuart's mom is deployed overseas, his fun-loving dad, Clark, decides to move the family to Portland to live with his uptight brother Lewis and his family, which includes Stuart's confident and socially active cousin Ivy and her younger, overly curious brother Leaf. Now living in a brand new city, Stuart embarks on a variety of endeavors with Ivy that lead to hilarious adventures. Although the cousins do not always see eye to eye, Ivy and Stuart learn they are better together, and when they team up, they are unstoppable. This sounds pretty interesting, and it comes from Kevin Coppola and Heath Seifert, the creators of Austin and Ally, and they also worked with Dan Schneider on some of his early shows like All That and Kenan and Kel, and served as showrunners for seasons 3 and 4 of Kenan and Kel. I just love their work, and I'm very curious in this show. Something tells me that Nick may be getting back on their feet with their sitcoms because this show sounds really interesting, and they are saying that they have a great cast, so we'll see what happens. Question 5. What are your thoughts on the Dan Schneider scandals that are being rumored? Okay guys, this topic is a little too unrealistic, but if you haven't been following Dan Schneider on Twitter, there are some rumors going around that Dan Schneider is a pedophile, and this has been rumored for years now. Now, with the recent sexual allegations against people being accused, he may be one of them. Now, I can't believe or confirm anything until someone from the studio steps forward and says something about it. Plus, I've been seeing behind the scenes videos of his shows from iCarly and Victorious, and I'm really not seeing that. The cast love Dan, and none of them have come forward and said anything negative about him. Plus, Dan doesn't have kids of his own, so the cast are basically like his own kids. Question 6. Would you like to see a reboot of Home Improvement, Everybody Loves Raymond, Reese's, or Rugrats? I would definitely love to see a revival of Home Improvement. Tim Allen is a great comedian and actor, and I was shocked and saddened when his previous show, Last Man Standing, was cancelled over schedule issues, which doesn't make any sense. It kind of reminded me when George Lopez's sitcom was cancelled. Many people were furious over the cancellation as they didn't get any closure. George Lopez himself was furious over the cancellation as he was upset that the Geico Cavemen got their own show, which bombed big time, instead of another season of his sitcom. The same thing with Tim Allen. There is a huge petition to save Last Man Standing, and many people have signed it. Country Music Television, or CMT, was going to save the show, but sadly, plans to save the show fell through. As for a Home Improvement revival, I would love to see what Tim and his family have been up to. Does he have grandkids? I don't know. Everybody Loves Raymond. I really don't think so. Many of the cast have sadly passed away. Peter Boyle, who played Frank, passed away. Robert Culp, who played Deborah's father, passed away. Doris Roberts, who played Marie, passed away. And the worst death the cast ever experienced was the suicide of Sawyer Sweeten, who played one of the twin sons. I really don't want to talk about it. His death was shocking and very, very sad. He was only 19 years old, guys. Very heartbreaking. So, Everybody Loves Raymond. I really don't think so. Recess. I would love to see a reboot of Recess. Paul Germain and Joan Solomon have been discussing a reboot of Recess. If there is one, the original kids would most probably be parents, and TJ's son will most probably be the new leader. So that would be interesting. Plus, Miss Finster is most probably dead. Well, maybe a new teacher. We'll see. And finally, Rugrats. This is another revival that they have been discussing. Chris Viscardi is currently in discussions with creators Arlene Klasky, Gabor Chupo, and Paul Germain on bringing back Rugrats, maybe as a TV movie. The cast really wants to come back to reprise the roles, including Cheryl Chase, who played Angelica. As for the adults, they may have to cast some new voice actors for some of the adults. Jack Riley, who played Stu Pickles, passed away. Joe Alasky, who played Grandpa, passed away. Debbie Reynolds, who played Grandma Lulu, passed away. And Ron Glass, who played Randy Carmichael, passed away. Plus, since Christine Cavanaugh passed away, Chucky already has a replacement voice actor. Nancy Cartwright replaced Christine when she retired from voice acting, so yeah, I would love to see what they've been up to. Question 7. Do you think Dan will create a new show after Henry Danger and Game Shakers, or do you think he would leave Nickelodeon like Butch Hartman? It's a possibility that he will create a new show for Nickelodeon, but I highly doubt it. And I'm not really sure if he'll leave Nickelodeon. It's a possibility that he will leave on his own terms, but I'm not sure. Maybe he'll create some new shows, maybe for Disney Channel or Netflix, kind of like what Kevin Coppola and Heath Seifert did with Austin and Ally. I would love to see him create a new show for Netflix. That would be interesting. And finally, question 8. What would you like to see happen in Fuller House Season 4? I already discussed what I would love to see happen in my previous video, but some new information came in recently that I'm very excited about. Last week, Netflix announced that Brian Behar and Steve Baldakowski will be taking over from Jeff Franklin as the new showrunners for Fuller House, starting with the upcoming 4th season. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I actually have faith in them taking over the show. They have written some really great episodes, including that cliffhanger episode from the mid-season 3 finale. So I have faith in them continuing the storyline of Kimmy's pregnancy, the DJ and Steve storyline. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. So that pretty much sums up my 3rd Q&A video. I may continue it, but it's unlikely at the moment. Plus, next time I do a Q&A video, I'm going to limit the questions to just 3 questions per user, so the video won't be too long. Anyways, until next time, I'm 1mikie19, and I'm signing out.
This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because. This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. That's enough, guys. Some people